What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hands-On channel. We're over at my farm pond today, and I wanted to share something with you guys. About, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago, my wife and I found a leak on the pond, and we can see where it's coming out of the pond, where the leak is spilling out into one of our ditches back behind the dam, but we have no idea where it is in the pond. So that creates a problem. I've looked all around the edges trying to find holes or anything that looks like a hole that I could dig out. I even brought my auger over here, my Harbor Freight auger, and I plugged and probed a couple of holes over here in this area, all along here where I thought the leak was, and I never hit any water, so I couldn't find the thing. And that led me to doing a whole bunch of research on, like, how do you seal up a pond that's already been built? I mean, obviously I can't drain the pond or I'll kill all my fish, and I don't want the water to get any lower, or else I'm running the risk of, you know, the fish not having enough oxygen and enough space and stuff. So anyways, after much research and deliberation, I finally found what I need. It's called bentonite clay. Around here in my area, they typically use it in the oil industry for like do it when they're installing casing and plugging wells and stuff like that. And the reason they use this special clay, and I believe it comes from Wyoming if I'm not mistaken, but it's called bentonite clay, and it's sodium bentonite. And basically the way this stuff works is it swells up. Once it gets water on it, it swells up like 15 times its normal size. So it's very unique. And as I was looking and researching on it, apparently it's used in a lot of women's makeup products. Well, I guess not exclusively women's these days, but makeup products for people that wear makeup. Apparently they use this bentonite clay for some different things like that, health and beauty related stuff. Oh wow, there's a good sized bass right there by that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's in the water. There's a good sized bass right there hovering around by that scum there in the pond. So anyways, I'm gonna have to try to get out here and catch some fish here in a little while, but before that I want to put this bentonite clay in. Now, there is no real recipe or formula like how much of this stuff you need to put in. I'm going to be going with the sprinkle method because, again, I'm not going to drain the pond out. So I'm going to just get out here in my canoe. As you can see over there, I've already got a few bags in there. The bags that I found are 50-pound bags, and I ended up buying 20 of them. So that's 1,000 pounds. Basically, I'm just going to use the sprinkle method. I think that the leak is over in this area over here. I'm not 100%, but this is the dam side is where I'm going to put the majority of the product down. I'm going to also put some out in the middle just in case there's a crack somewhere down there in the sandstone or something that's allowing the leak to go. But yeah, it took me a while to find this stuff. I went to every place that I could think of, and finally I found a local lumber yard that had this stuff. You're not going to get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. So I'm going to get the camera set up, we'll get out in the canoe, and we'll go back and forth. And basically the method I'm using is I'm just going to cut the bag open at the top, and then I'm going to take a large coffee can, and I'm going to dip it in there, and I'm going to get some, I'm going to get some momentum going along here. And as I'm going along, I'll just start pouring it and shaking it out and getting it into the water. Luckily for me, it's not super windy today, so I shouldn't have a whole bunch of dust. But you want the granular type, not the fine powdery stuff. You want the bigger pieces, so that the idea is it gets down in that hole, it finds that leak, it settles down and gets in that hole where the water is flowing through, and then it expands 15 times its size and plugs the hole. So I won't know if this is going to work or not till the end of the summer probably. But we're fixing to be going into the heavy rainy season, and the pond is going to fill back up. And you can actually see here, I have a block over here on the ground. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see it in the screen of the camera, but there's a cinder block that I put there, and that was underwater last year. In fact, it was so full, it actually came up to this edge right here that you see. The pond was that full last year. So we're definitely down 8 to 10 feet, something like that. And again, this is part of my survival plan when the shit hits the fan. I want to be able to come out here and get water off my own property out of my pond, and also for the fishing so that we can have fish to keep us alive when the system collapses. So I thought I'd give you guys a close-up look here of the bag. It's made by a company called PDS. PDS, not POS. When I first saw it, I thought it said POS, but it's PDS, and they're out of El Dorado, Arkansas. And so you should be able to look up that company, PDS, online and find them. And then if you have to, you could contact them and find out where their distributors are near you. But you can see it says it's natural sodium bentonite granular seal. You don't want the stuff that's powdery. You want the stuff that's granular and large. The bigger the better for this sort of application. But it says right there, for use in sealing casings, plugging flow holes, monitoring well isolation aquifers, well decommissioning, grounding rods, and geothermal wells. So hopefully you can find this stuff locally. I had a heck of a time. It took me over a month to find this stuff, and it turned out it was at a store in my town, my big city near me here, so I had to go into town and get it. But anyways, it was about $12.50 per bag, something like that, and they're 50-pound bags. So I've got around $270 invested in this little project here. And again, the bad thing about it is it's so random. I mean, I could be out there sprinkling all day and never hit the hole. Maybe I'm in, maybe I'm in the wrong spot. I think I know where it is. I think it's over in that side past the canoe back there. This is the dam right here. And the leak that I'm seeing, my wife and I are seeing, is back over that way on the other side of the dam, but it's kind of over at a diagonal direction. So that makes me think that if water takes the path of least resistance, then it's going to be on that side over there because that's the closest place to where we're finding the leak. So hopefully my theory is correct. Again, I won't know until later on this summer, and I'm worried because if this thing gets too low during drought season, I may lose my fish, and that would be horrible. Then I'd have to, oh man, a big bass just flopped down there. I hope you guys saw that. But anyways, I'm fixing to get back in the canoe. I've got 5 bags left to put in. I may only put 4 bags in and then keep the last bag just to sprinkle around along the edges. Let me walk down here right quick and show you guys just kind of what it looks like. My water is fairly clear right now, so I can actually see where this stuff, at least up near the bank, up near the edge, I can see where I put it. Let's see if you guys are going to pick that up on the camera. Yeah, it's very light colored, like almost a white color, so it's pretty easy to see it. And it's pretty easy to see once you put it in, and you can't really tell probably on the camera, but the water is a little cloudy from where I've already put in probably about 750 pounds of this stuff into the water. That's what's so great about this bentonite clay, is it takes like up to 2 weeks, they claim, for it to reach its full spread or its full expansion. So it doesn't happen instantly. It's going to take, a week or 2 before it gets down in there in the hole, and hopefully it does. Hopefully there's enough flow in that hole that it's going to pull those granulars down in there, and then they'll expand and plug the hole. Kind of shooting in the dark, though, to be honest with you, and I don't like that. I prefer, if I had the money, I would probably just pay somebody with an excavator to come out here and dig down and find the actual hole, and hopefully that doesn't have to happen. But I thought I'd try this for a couple of $100, almost $300. Maybe this will stop us from having to get excavators over here, which would be a huge job, because I don't know if the camera is going to show it, but this is a pretty steep hill right here. Of course, normally this is underwater. So anyways, guys, I'm back at it, and here in a minute we'll come back in and I'll show you some of these granulars up close. Okay, and another thing I should have told you guys earlier, this is the base product of cat litter. This is what they make cat litter out of. So as you can see, it's like about the same size as cat litter. And that's why it works so well for absorbing moisture and stuff like that. This is basically the cat litter without the flavorful smells and stuff like that and other chemicals they add. That's why it's safe to put in there with your fish. In case I didn't say that earlier, this is safe for aquatic life. So anyways, guys, good luck to you on your projects, and I hope that it works out well for you. If you're watching this video, you're probably like me and worrying about your pond leaking. This is probably the best way that I know of, other than draining the pond, and actually layering this stuff all over the bottom and actually, you know, repacking it with like a bulldozer or something like that. This is the best way I know without catastrophic damage to your pond. So good luck to you guys. I hope it works out for you.